Good morning. What's up, everybody? Happy Tuesday, right? Today's Tuesday? Yeah, happy Tuesday, day 25. Day 25, 30-day challenge. We've got 5 days left, guys. 5 more days of fun. So we don't have much time left together. Um, so we got to make the most of it and see how much we can do. Don't have a ton of updates for you guys this morning. Um, what happened yesterday? Yesterday we've got to reconnect with Diana. We weren't able to get back in touch with her yesterday. She said she was going to give us a call back, but then never did, and I wasn't able to get back in touch with her. So we'll follow up with her again today. Um, I was able to follow up with one of the agents on a property to where I didn't make an offer on it yet. I wanted to call him because I was going to need to be a lot lower. It's listed for 320, and the agent was like, "Yeah, we could do two not like." He was like, "I told them I wanted to list it for 290." And I told him, "Yeah, I'll see if I could get up to 290." So I took a look at a comps yesterday, and got a better idea of where I think I'd need to be for an offer price. And then I knew I was going to be way below 290. So I called him to basically feel I was like, hey, man, I'm going to be like way lower. What are your thoughts? Where are the sellers at? Now, why do we do this? Sometimes, there are some people that believe you should always make the offer. You never know. There's some truth to that, sure, but it's like, dude, you can kind of know, there's a lot more you can do, you know, to find out, like, well, is this something where I should shoot my shot or no? For this property, I asked him, he's like, oh, okay. He's like, well, because I was like, dude, I'm going to be pretty far below. Like, should I even make an offer? What are your thoughts? And he's like, dude, he's like, bro, I brought them an offer. It was a cash offer at like 295. And he had another offer at 290, and they wouldn't take it. They've had another offer, I think it was financing though, for 300, and they didn't even take that. And I think he said the highest offer they've had was 307, I think. But I know they definitely had a cash offer at like 290, 295. Now, this is what's important. That 290 cash offer, like, whoa, Nate, like if someone else is able to pay cash for 290, like, why are we so far off? Because that person they're buying cash for them to live in it like themselves. It's for a retail buyer, a residential, a person that's going to live in it as their residence. So totally different buyer than us. And the agent was like, yeah, man, no, like I understand, like, you know, hey, you've got to be wherever you need to be at for the numbers to make sense for you. He's like, yeah, on this one, he's like, dude, the sellers, like, they're so stuck on price. And he's like, and yeah, I think the only type of person that this property is going to make sense for is a retail buyer. I was like, cool, no problem. And I transitioned, I was like, hey, man, do you happen to have anything else? And then I also explained to him, I was like, yo, just so you know, like, because he was like, he's like, I don't really have anything right now. He's like, I'm talking to a few people. I've got a few that might be coming down the pipeline. I'm like, cool. I'm like, bro, well, hey, let me explain to you a little bit about how I work with agents. Typically, I was like, whenever you come across properties like this, like instead of listing it, a lot of times they'll bring it just to me because, it's able to be a lot better deal for you, in the end, and you don't have to go through process of listing it. And he's like, what do you mean? I was like, well, for example, like if an agent brings me a deal, there's a few ways that we can do it. One, I can let you know, like immediately, that day within an hour, what kind of price I'll be able to pay. I was like, I can let you know right away, like ballpark rate where I think I would need to be. I was like, I was like, two, when you bring a deal to me, we figure out whatever price the seller needs to get for the property, and then we can either tack your fee on top of that, right, to whatever we're able to make sense. I was like, or a lot of times what I do is I'll kind of split my profit with the agent. So I'll do either like 60-40 or like a 50-50 split. Really depends on the deal. But basically, that allows it to be way more lucrative, especially on these houses where they need a lot of work and it's going to be a hassle and they're like lower price points, splitting the deal kind of 50-50, splitting my assignment fee, dude, that allows it to be way more lucrative for you. And you can typically make a lot more money, working the deal that way than if you were to just list it and get like a 3% commission. And right after he said that, he's like, I'll tell you what. He's like, why don't you look at this one I do have? Now, it was a listed property. And the house wasn't a good fit. But he was like, yo, this is the exact number that the seller needs. And it's a property that needed work. But it was like a 2-bedroom, really small house. It's like a weird, quirky home. And when I was like, yeah, dude, this one ain't going to work for me. He was like, look, he's like, I totally understand. He's like, I get it. I know it's a weird house. But what it did was he didn't bring that property up until I explained kind of the pitch to him of like, hey, here's what I can offer you. Right. And then it clicked to him. And now, dude, you bet he's got my number saved because he's like, I like the way that sounds. Guys, you might think like, I don't know, there's one thing to where there's two sides to it, right? You want to try to profit as much as you can on each deal. But when it comes to splits, dude, especially like if someone is bringing me a good deal, I will happily split, do a 50-50 split on that. Dude, if you're like, what, bro, you're going to give the agent, let's just say it's a $20K assignment fee. Dude, you're going to pay them 50%, 10 grand. Like, dude, that's crazy. A 50% commission on that. But I had to do zero work into that deal. And if it's a good deal, like, bro, I will pay that all day. I'll do 100 of those deals and I'll be happy doing it because they're going to be super easy. The agent's my boots on the ground. He already has a relationship with the seller. Anything I need to do with getting into the property or information about the property, he's going to be able to provide to me. All I'm doing is really, leveraging my relationships with my buyers. Sip of coffee. So pay them well so that they come back to you, right? Because if you nickel and dime them and it's like you negotiate really hard and maybe you do one up them on that one deal and maybe they get pennies and you get a really good spread, but you're only looking at that one deal, right? You're failing to look at, dude, maybe we could have done 10 deals together. Maybe we could have done 20. Maybe we could have done 10 to 20 deals a year together, right? So we really got to look at the big picture. All right, cool. So what do we got going on today? So I just got an email back. I'd sent a property yesterday evening. Wrong email. So I'm still trying to feel out this hedge fund a little bit. I'm sending them some properties and seeing what they come back. Now, the nice thing is they'll give me an offer price, like right away. They don't need a contract, nothing. They'll give you like an initial offer price. And I'm trying, I know kind of what they're looking for, but I'm still trying to see like how much can we push the envelope. Okay. Offers in this one, we're at 160 here. I don't know if I fully understand. So originally the conversation I had, really tough for us to comp this one out as there really are none. Closest single family residence, that's up for rent, so 4 miles away. So it'd be super conservative here, probably around 1,800. Interesting. Okay, that's really good. I asked him, so he pretty much told me their formula. He's like, for us as a hedge fund, he's like, dude, we just look at a gross yield. Um, so that's kind of like on a yearly basis when they look at it, analyze it as a rental. So what they do is they'll take what they believe they could get for a rent. So let me. I'll start this right now. Let me hold on. I'm gonna share my screen with you guys in a second, and so I can kind of show you what I'm talking about for gross yields. So let me present this screen. Okay, cool. Let's over here present entire screen. Bang. All right. So let's go. Let's jump to Privy. You know it. Can't do nothing without Privy. And we let's just take, what was one of the ones that I sent him? I sent him Fairway. So let's take this, and this is in Leesburg. All right, so this property. So when looking at a gross yield, so they typically want to have a gross yield of 10 to 12% per year. And what that formula is it's the gross rent for the year, pretty much divided by all the money that they have into it. So let's say rent is $2,000 a month, right? Let's say market rent is $2,000 a month for this property. And we'll times that by 12. So that's the gross rent, 24,000. Right? And then what we'll do is we'll divide it by, and then for them it's the purchase price plus the rehab cost plus their carrying cost until the property's stabilized. Now that one was kind of a question mark for me because I was like, okay, rehab. I kind of know what the rehabs look like. I was like, purchase price, I set that. And then, but I was like, I really don't know how much the carrying cost is. I was figuring, I was like, maybe like 10 grand. And I was pretty close. He just sent an email that's about 6 to 12, depending. So if I average about 10 in there for carrying costs, I feel like that's a good number. So let's say I got this property at 190 and I wanted to sell it to them for 200. So this is the gross market rent on the property. And I would divide by, so there'd be the purchase price of 200,000. Let's say looking through this, I have an estimated rehab of 235. I'm sorry, an estimated rehab of 35,000. So we've got 200,000 purchase price, $35,000 rehab, and then carrying costs until the property is stabilized. We'll say 10 grand. So 200,000 plus 35,000 plus 10,000. So we're at 245. So they would take the yearly gross rent and divide it by all those costs. So divide by 245,000. All right, and that would give them, and if we were to times it by 100, so that's like a 9.8% return. If they were to purchase this property at 190,000, it'd be a 9.8 return, gross yield. So that's like right on the borderline of where they would want to be at. So this kind of helps give me an idea as far as where I think their offers are going to be at when looking at properties, but they've been coming a bit lower. But these are also a bit further out. All right. That's gross yield. Let's go look at See if Privy sent us any goodies. All right, let's see what two we got. Kirkland, 4-2, 1968, and Orlando. Now, the other thing, though, is from what I'm looking at, like, so pretty much the guy I spoke, he was like, oh, it's just off, like, gross yield. Definitely doesn't seem to be that way. Because let's take, I think he said they'd be at 160 on this property. So if they did a 160 purchase price, let's say a 35K rehab, plus let's say 10K, so they'd be at 205. And let's say he was saying they were being conservative, 1,800 rent. So if we did $1,800 per month in rent, divided by, what did we say? We were at 160 plus 35 would 35K rehab would put us at 195 plus 10. So we'd be at divided by 205,000. Okay, so yeah, that kind of makes sense. They're at like a 10% return there. But they were being conservative with that rent because this is kind of a little bit far out there and it's hard for them to find rental comps. But this woman was like, dude, it's right next to a college and you can get like 800 per room. I think this could be a better deal for someone else other than the hedge fund as a rental property. But we'll deal with that another time. Let's take a look at this. Listed yesterday. Wow, great first time. Our investor, 4-bed, love it. Universal, blah, blah, blah. There is no HOA for the community. Cool, love it. All right, what do we get? So we've got a 4-2 1968. There's no garage, but there's a carport at least. It what's with all them doors? What's with all these doors here? It's not like a duplex or something, is it? All right, let's go back to comps. Oh, also, where in Orlando is this? Okay. Sort of southwest, industrial. Okay, let's look at some comps. All right, I'm kind of liking what I'm seeing here. Let's see what's right next to it. One sold for 230 right next to it. This sold in January, 3-2. A little bit smaller, same year. Carport. I like this one. We're gonna call him right now. Oops, what did I do? How did I make that decision so quick? Right? So there's some that you guys want to be like, Nate, what, bro, like how on earth did you, like, some of them you'll take like 10 minutes looking at. Other ones in like 30 seconds, you're like, yeah, let's just call it. This property, hold on, let me throw in my notes here. We got Orlando, Florida, cool. Let's look up this dude's number. So this property, it's listed for 200,000. So one, we know like, yo, that's the price points we want to be looking at. Two, it's a 4-bed, 2-bath, right? So as long as it's a 3-bed, 2-bath or better, we're in the money. So that's number two. So one, it's in our price point, 200,000. Two, it's got the beds and baths that we're looking for in the square footage. Three, it's in the year built that I'm looking for, right? It's not like it's 1920s. If it was any older, it'd be too old for the hedge fund company anyways. And then number four, right? We look at the, it's not like a teardown, right? It's like, ooh, yeah, this could use like some work, some updating, like, but it's not horrendous. So I like that. And I took a quick look at comps, and it's just at a really quick view. It seems like most stuff is in like the two, like the mid to high twos. So we like that a lot. So it looks like this is priced pretty decently. What was I gonna do? Look at this dude's number. Office number, gross. We don't want that, and it's the same one here. Come on, Jerry. Let's see if it's here. And so on the, that's not what I was expecting. Am I saying her name right? Like Jerry? Jerry? That's right, right? All right, let's try this one. I have not seen that hairstyle in a minute. She rocks it. Look, if she's able to get me this deal at an amazing price, she can rock whatever haircut she wants. And I support her in that decision. All right, let's call her up. 352-267-7147.
Thank you for calling. I'm not available at the moment. Please leave your name and number.
I'm going to call that right back.
Thank you for calling. I'm not available at the moment. Please leave your name and number and brief message, and I will return your call as soon as I can. Thank you and have a great day.
Hey, this is Nathan. I was just calling about one of your properties that I see you have listed here. Definitely interested in looking to make an offer. If you could, please give me a call when you get the chance. My number is 845-853-6551. Talk to you soon. Thanks. Bye-bye. All right, we're going to send her a text. Oh, she sent me 2 texts. Whoops. She said, I can't talk right now. I'll call you back shortly. That's why my phone's on Do Not Disturb. Guys, I need you to remind me every time. As soon as we go live, just yell at me, like, Nate, take your phone off Do Not Disturb. That's why I didn't see your text come through. Call office for business calls. If personal, text me. Yeah, we're gonna text her. Hi, Jerry. My name is Or hi Jared, this is Nathan Valle. I just left you a voicemail. Wanted to chat about one of your listings. Is there a good time this morning that you're available for a quick chat? All right. Text sent. So, yeah, we like this one. Faux show. All right, well, that's a good start. I like that one. Moving on. All right, let's look at this. This is in Holden Heights. Dude, I have like PTSD from like anything that is like blank heights. I'm just like, it's probably a dump. Now that might not be true at all, and I'm sure that's not the case everywhere. But it's just I might have mentioned once or twice to you guys about my previous market in West Michigan, Muskegon Heights, aka the Heights. It it was like when people talk about like war zone areas, that was a war zone area for sure. Okay, so we like the condition. Let's look at comps. So one thing you guys have kind of noticed at all, one thing I've sort of been realizing, price points like center, going west seem to drop a little bit. We've got the Pine Hills up here. It seems like kind of this area, like almost west side Orlando, is a bit more of a lower price point, and then east side it seemed higher value, right? So we were up in Castle Bay. Well, that's kind of far, but so this seems to be more of our median price point areas, which is nice, but also might mean it's not as great of neighborhoods as some of the other ones. So ours is a 3.2, 1928. It's old. It's old. But they're asking 180, which is nice. This one was built in 2022. Okay. Let's see what sold for. Yeah, so this sold for 160. 160. Let's look at start by dates. Okay, so these seem to be selling pretty cheap. This is a 2-1. Look at that. 2-1, 2-1. So 2-1s, yeah, are selling that like 100 grand, give or take. All right, let's look at a 3-2. This, I mean, sure, I'll click on it just for the sake of, like, this doesn't make sense to me. This sold for 533, or that's what's shown here as it could be listed. Nope, it says sold in January. Built in 1980. Yeah, something is weird with that one. Just because it's literally 250 grand more than like the next highest property. And it, I mean, maybe it's really nice on the inside, but even so, from the outside here, it's not like it's on like this crazy mountain top and all this other stuff. So something's a little fishy there. We were just looking at that. So it's a 3.2, but it's 2022. So it's like a new build. It's 3.2, 1958. So the problem with ours is it's really old. Like it's significantly older than most of these. But they're buying these. So this dude bought out 147. Oh, we looked at this house before. All right, this is 1930. I like that. Dude bought it for 130. Sold it for 225. Let's look at that one. Let's look at some before and after. Okay, doesn't really give us much idea of the inside, but okay. So I really like this. They did a nice job with it. All right, so this is probably like the first dude I would call if I were to get that property in the contract. Now, what did they originally list it at? 269. So the other thing is it's the first person I called, but one thing to keep in mind is like they started the list price at 269 and a bunch of price cuts, and they sold. So it's a pretty quick turnaround. So like that was like a 3-4 week project for them, but they sold it for 225. Right, so that's what 45 grand less than their original list price. Now, which could have just been high for them to try to feel it out. But like if you were to call and be like, oh dude, I got your next good deal for like the same price as this one, they might be like, dude, we lost 25 grand on that last deal. So it's just good to have that in mind when you reach out to them. So I like this one. We're gonna call up this one too. Kevin. Florida Realty Investments. We've definitely talked to that brokerage before. I feel like. All right. Orlando, Florida. Let's look them up. Okay. Kevin, looking legit. Is that like his brokerage? I don't know if this is his house or like his office, or if that's just a random property. All I know is that it looks pretty. All right, we've got his number. Let's call him up. Let's call up Kevin. So this was listed, excuse me, listed 24 days ago, which is nice. Great investment. Your home needs TLC to make it a dream home. Yes, it does. So let's take a quick look at this again. I love photos like these. I love them. Why? Because everybody looks at this and like, oh, dude, the house is trashed. And it's like, no, the house actually looks fine. You know, I mean, it's dated, sure, but there's just a bunch of clutter. Most people can't see past the clutter. Even if you're searching for like your own home for like a personal residence, dude, something to keep in mind, like, dude, if you could see past the like, some clutter. And if you like, if you can see like what the rooms would be like and just like a coat of paint, could go a long way for you guys. Why did they take a picture of that? It's kind of a weird picture. Unless there's something of importance to that. I don't know. Let's call them up. All right. 407 434 9595.
Hello.
Hey, Kevin.
Hello.
Hey, can you hear me?
Hello.
Hey, can you hear me, Kevin?
Yes.
Hey, Kevin, how you doing? This is Nathan.
Hey, Nathan.
I was calling. I saw one of your listings here on Westmoreland Drive.
Westmoreland.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, I was just calling to see if you had a minute to chat about it, but it sounds like I might have caught you in the middle of something.
Yeah. Well, what information you need on that one?
I was taking a look at it. I'm looking at it as a potential investment property. I was wondering if you could just kind of tell me a little bit about it, and I guess if there's anything particular.
On Zillow or where?
I'm looking at the MLS right now.
Okay. Yeah. What they should have all information in it.
The
3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,100 square feet.
Right. Does it? I'm not seeing. Do you know the age of? Does it need a roof, AC, anything like that?
I don't know. Yeah, we have to. If you want to flip it or how do you want to do it?
I'm not too sure just yet. Either possibly a flip, but could possibly be a rental too. I'm not sure yet.
Okay. You can take a look at it, and you can assess what it needs to be done. It's better that way.
Do you is this your property?
No, I just listed.
Oh, okay, got it. Well, I do know. I don't know exactly what I'd be able to pay just yet. If I were to make an offer, it would be able to be an all cash offer. But I do know I would probably definitely be below the list price. I know it's listed at 180 right now.
Seller is okay to work out, no problem. Yeah, but before you should take a look at it to see what it needs to be done first.
Yeah.
Well, where you can have your number.
Is I the only thing for me, I'm usually pretty good at knowing my numbers. Just if there's anything major, and I'm able to kind of know that up front, that's helpful. Otherwise, just from looking at pictures, I'm able to be pretty good at knowing what the budget would need to be. You're saying the roof is good, the AC is good, there's no foundation issues or anything like that?
You should take a look at it.
Well,
yeah, people calling, they flip and stuff like that, and I advise them, go take a look at it and assess, how much you need to put, to fix, repair. It's better that way than asking me because I'm not an inspector. I don't have any report for that.
Yeah. Well, I guess the reason why I'm asking, because I totally understand where you're coming from, Kevin. The reason I ask is just because I know it's listed for 180, but if I think I need to be close to like 100, 110. Okay. Is the home is it a crawl space or is it on like a slab? Crawl space?
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. And it's all wood frame, right?
Before I do anything, you should take a look at it to see what it is. It's better that way than so you at least what it needs to be done.
Yeah.
A lot of people, they say they're good at the number, they calculate the number, but they don't see it.
Right.
They just sit in the office and submit by offer. So I always suggest them, look at it first.
Yeah, I just want to make sure that because I don't want to waste your time, and of course I don't want to waste my time or anyone from my team. So that's why I usually like to just try to make sure we're somewhat in the ballpark. But you're saying, even if I'm significantly under the list price, you know, the sellers are willing to listen so long as I can kind of show them how I got to that number. Is that correct?
Yeah, but yeah, submit the offer, and I will represent to that. But before submit offer, we don't take any die offer.
You don't take what?
Blind offer.
Oh, got it. Okay. All right, fair enough. Well, let me take a little closer look at this one, and I'll get back to you, Kevin.
Okay.
All right, thanks so much. Talk to you soon. All right, so that was a funny conversation. So it was kind of hard to get some information out of him, right? He's like, yo, just like walk it. Now, one thing to understand, he's probably gotten so many calls like mine. You know, and the other thing is I actually kind of like this when they're like, yo, no blind offers. When it's one step harder, guys, it just cuts out like a huge chunk of competition. Right? When it's like one step harder to get in touch with, you know, the sellers, when it's one step harder to make an offer, right? When it's one step part, right? So like the EMD, no blind offers. It means I can't just call up on the phone or text, you know, an offer without physically walking the property. I actually like those things because it takes out a ton of competition. Now, how do I get around that? My competitive advantage, which we've been saying since day one, dude, I could hit up my buyers and have them walk it. If it's a house that they would consider. So that's where it gets a little bit tricky. Now the agent, he says no blind offers, but there's still a way for us to feel it out, which is why I got on the phone. One, he was like, yo, they're like, dude, like walk it, tell us what it needs, and we're willing to work with you. He said that like 3 or 4 times. So which is great. They sound now he might also just be, you know, wanting to get some more offers on the table, right? To get something working. So he could be like maybe a little overzealous with it on his end. But there's definitely motivation here. Now the downside, this ain't like, dude, this property, it's everything about it kind of goes against us. It's crawl space. It's not like a slab. It's wood frame. It's not a block home. It's mad old, you know. So none of those things are great. Excuse me. None of those things are great at all. But there are people that will buy those houses. So now the other thing I did in that conversation was I still wanted to feel him out because he's like, yo, we're willing to work with you. But sometimes agents like, oh, we're really flexible. Like we understand it needs work. Like, yeah, well, like we're willing to hear a really low offer, you know, if that's what it needs. But to them, like really low might mean like, you know, it's listed for 180 and I make an offer at 160. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to set his expectations correctly, and I used a really low anchor. Now, honestly, the funny thing is that probably is where I'll actually need to be at. I was like, hey, look, like if I'm at like 100 to 110, like you know, I mean, you really think that's something I should make an offer on? And what I'm doing is I'm just feeling out for motivation. I have no clue what my price would need to be at, but I'm looking for him to be like, well, okay, maybe that's a little low, right? Or if he's like, look, he's like, yeah, look, if you walk the property and you see it and that's the price that you need to be at, he's like, you know, make the offer. If that's what he's saying, dude, I'm gonna jump and then I'm gonna offer probably like 80,000, right? Like 40K less than that. But this one might be hard to make front just because they are listed at 180 and there's a lot of comps sold for like 160 and under, and some here for 100. So let's do all. Let's just do all. let me see. Because the other thing is like, this is the hard part with the agent where I'm like, dude, I get you're telling me to like walk it and make an offer, but I also don't want to waste my buyer's time. Primarily, like if this was a good house, that's, different story, right? That's the one that we're going to want them to walk and get their opinion back on if we're hearing all those same things from the agent. But it's not a great property, right? It's kind of one where most guys are going to be like, dude, I really don't want to do that work to even see what my offer would need to be. Because they're like, they're like, it's not really a project, a house that I want to do. But let's see. These are all active. So what's stuff active for right now? What's under contract? 3-2. That's a new build. Or anything 1930. This is a 4-2. All right, so bought it at 115. Now where's this one? Oh, we've seen this property so many times. That's, yeah, and it's a 4-2. Same size. Yeah. The nice thing is on a property like this, you kind of have all the leverage, right? Because it's like, dude, you kind of got to convince me to want to like make any effort on this one. And there's comp supporting such as a low price, and we already know a bunch of people walked in and were like, nah, dude, not interested. So I could just shoot him a text and be like, look, I'm gonna need to be so low that this probably isn't gonna make sense for you. Right? And then see what he says. If he's like, dude, please make an offer. And then I would push and I'd be like, look, I know you're not doing blind offers, but it's not even worth my time to walk this unless they will consider an offer under 100 grand. And if he's like, there's no chance that would ever happen, I'm like, okay, cool. Like, no harm, no foul. On to the next property, right? Now, and that's the other thing, guys. Like, everything's negotiable, right? And I hope that's one thing you guys are kind of picking up on throughout the challenge is like, dude, there's so many things that we've negotiated. We've negotiated EMD. We've negotiated non-assignable contracts to assignable contracts. We've negotiated wholesaling a property that they're like, yeah, we don't really want to wholesale it, right? We've negotiated, just initial offers with agents and how to tell them, hey, like, yeah, like I might be wholesaling this and I'm going to have guys walk it. So like, this is just another thing. Oh, he says no blind offers. It says in the notes, no blind offers. Well, I guess that means no blind offers. No, it just means he typed in no blind offers. It just means he said no blind. Because here's the other thing. If I do make a blind offer, he's probably still going to tell them, right? Maybe, maybe not. But like, he still has it. It's kind of like attorneys. Like when they make a case and an attorney says something and a judge is like, have that like removed from the record, right? Sustained. It's like, okay, yeah, it's removed from the record, but the whole jury still just heard it. So like, it still has an impact. So kind of like this. But I honestly, this was 1942. It's just not, this one's listed for $299. That one's probably going to stay listed a while. Let's look at solds. Sold on the street. So this thing, what's sold for $315? Who's calling me? This is this one. Hello? 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 All right, let's try calling her back. But first, let's get this property up. I think this was the one we really liked, right? Yeah. So she just tried calling back.
Thank you for calling. I'm not available.
Come on. Okay, but she did give me a different number to text. So let me try texting this number. All right. So just send her another text. Let's see what she says. Oh, also, let's call back Diana. 8-chip core. Oops, let's get. Oh, I gotta put that. I didn't put that in a folder. Got to put it in the interested, so I know that I've looked at it before. Interest's passed. Cool. Did we pass this one? Yes, we did. All right, let's bring up another privy tab. So that if she calls back in 2 seconds, I've got this here in front of me. Now, one thing we looked at, so I noticed up here, I was like, ooh, it had a before and after. So tab. So which means somebody bought it and sold it. I think it's like within 12 months. So I wanted to see, okay, like, if this is like another wholesaler, like listing the property, probably not going to be a fit for us. But looks like they got it for 180. Buyout acquisition trust. So I'm going to want to ask the agent, like, what's kind of the deal with this one. But we at least know they probably aren't going to take an offer below 180. Even though we'd probably like to be below 180. Let's call Diana. I don't even know if I'm saying that right. Still active, so that's good.
Please leave your message for 32.
Let's call her again. And we also got to shoot a text to Monica.
leave your message for 321-315-4686. Sorry, mailbox is full.
Right, I forgot that. Forgot that about her phone. So let's shoot her a text. Hi, Diana. Just tried calling. Is there a good time this morning you can chat? All right, we'll see what she says. And then Monica, let's shoot Monica a text. So Monica is that house where we made an offer below 100, and I told her yesterday I was going to keep touching base with her until she spoke with the seller. Hey, Monica. How did things go with the seller yesterday? All right, we'll see what she says. Fingers crossed she's going to text us back and be like, he loved it. She's like, you know what? You don't even have to do earnest money. Just like take your time. In fact, he actually wants less money because you were so kind. I'd be like, you know what? Yeah. All right, this is for this property. No, this one. Hello.
Hi, this is Jerry. I'm returning your call.
Hey, Jerry, how you doing?
I'm doing phenomenal. What's up?
I'm doing good, thanks. I was just calling about a listing I saw here of yours on Kirkland Boulevard.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was taking a look at it. I'm interested. I'm potentially looking at it as an investment property, and I was wondering if, yeah, you could just kind of maybe tell me a little bit about it, and if there's anything in particular that you think would be important for me to know.
Okay, two questions. Number one, are you a buyer or are you working with an agent?
I'm a buyer, so I'm actually unrepresented. So if we were able to work something out, love to have you represent me.
Okay, I'll let you know that I very seldom will represent anybody on purchasing. I don't want other agents to accuse me of writing offers after I've seen their office. So to stay out of mischief and trouble, I usually will direct you over to our office line, and one of the people in the office that I work with all the time on my listings can give you information about it. If you need detailed information like regarding repair work and things, or what's wrong with it that we're aware of from our general inspections, if you text to the 352-408-8562, he will be able to text you back that info, but he will direct you as far as to one of the agents to call the office line, which is the 352-253-9200. And one of the agents, they can set up an appointment to physically show you the property.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, if it looks like something that makes sense and we're able to make an offer on, yeah, I'd love to chat with you, kind of learn a little bit more about the property. But yeah, when we get to the point of an offer, of course, yeah, you're more comfortable with it. You could just point me to, someone that's in your office that you like to work with.
Well, that's what I'm saying, to direct you over. If you call the office line, the 3 or 4 agents that will be on floor time answering the phones, all of them are very qualified to do this. All of them have worked on REO properties with me. And as I said, I personally do not show the properties only because you can get into too much trouble with other agents in the world saying, oh, she didn't submit my offer, or she saw my offer price, so she got the winning bid. So to make your potentiality of getting an offer better,
God, no, totally under. It sounds like that's coming from some years of experience and wisdom.
How about a little, almost close to 40?
Wow, good for you. That's amazing.
I'm still working. Yes.
Well, hopefully it's because you at least enjoy it. But
hey, it's a people job.
Yeah, that is for sure. That is for sure. Got it. So this property, it's an REO, you'd said?
Yes, it is a bank property.
Got it.
And if you text, as I said, Word, if you're looking about repair information and things, he will give you that information if it's something you want to buy to flip, or if you just want something, which would be in some cases the best way of doing investments. But some of the people wanted to live it. So there's a difference, and he will be able to tell you this is approximately what it's going to cost you in repair work. I believe that this one is also what they call a reversed mortgage. And on the reversed mortgages, the seller, generally speaking, the first couple of weeks that the property is on the market, wants the office in very, very close to what the asking price is. Before they'll even consider dropping down. And they will not do any repair, but our people in the office know to direct you if you need repair work done to either, if you've been served our country, the VA renovation loans, as well as the FHA and the conventional loans that allow for repair work within your financing on mortgage.
Perfect. Well, I'll tell you what, let me take a closer look at things on my end. And what I'll do is, if it's something I know I've got that number here that I can text to. And if I would like to make an offer, I'll be sure to connect with someone in your office.
Okay, because they will be more than happy to assist you in getting that done and making sure that it is presented correctly and in the right manner. So there's no chance of there being an issue in the offer being presented.
Perfect. I love it. Well, thank you so much, Jerry. I'll take a look at it and I'll be in touch.
Very, very good, and you have a beautiful and a blessed day.
You too. Take care.
You take care. Bye bye.
Well, she was very sweet. Bank owned, right? Not really what we're looking for. Also, like, just taking a quick peek at comps. Like, my guess is 280. 280, like, just without looking too much at it, my guess is 280-ish is ARV. Doesn't leave a ton of room for rehab and all those other goodies. Yeah. So we're gonna go with failed. Okay. And then there's one other thing we were gonna do. What was it? This one we're not really interested in. Dana, did we text her? I think we were about to. Okay, no, we did text her. All right, so let's get rid of this. Which property? So Fairway. I want to take a closer look at this one. I spoke with this agent yesterday evening. Now, I asked her for market rent, and I was like, "Oh, what do you think? Rent on this could be?" Now, this house, it's unique. It's 3-bed, 3-bath, but they're all. She made it sound like they all have their own entrances, but they all definitely have like their own bathroom. Like each bedroom has its own bathroom. It's basically set up to be a college rental. I guess there's a college like right down the road from here or something. I was like, "Oh, what do you think market rent could be?" She said $800 a room. Dude, is that? I don't know if anybody messes with college rentals. Is that actually what college, like a 1-bedroom, goes for in a house? Is that legit? That seems high, if you ask me. But I don't know. Maybe I'm out of touch. $800 a room seems a bit much. I want to see if there's any other kind of, let's do settings. Let's do, Diana, she texted me back. Hello, send. Good morning, send. Call me, send. All right, let's call her up.
Hello.
Hey, how you doing?
Fine.
So yeah, how I remember last time. It's been a little bit since we last spoke. I remember last time we spoke. You were waiting to hear back from that one company that you were hoping to work with.
Yes, they don't go through. They say no, they don't want it.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yes, but it's fine.
Is it just because it was too much work for them, or I guess what was kind of
Yes,
the...
I think so. Yes, I think so. Is that it's too work, a lot of work for him.
Got it. Okay. Did they think the rehab was a bit more expensive than kind of what you guys had it at? Was that what they were thinking?
Yes. The people, every people send me an offer say they're going to spend 70,000.
70,000 for everything?
Yes, they say
Okay.
every people. I don't know. I'm going to see it. No, I'm going to repair the roof, try to do something inside, putting rent because I don't want to. If I sell the house, the price I have it is only to pay the mortgage and return the money for down payment and everything. But I'm going to lose 20,000 my money, pay every month. But it's fine because I return the money, everything is fine. It's fine for me. But if no, I need to do something because I don't want the person to give me the money, lose the money,
Right. What if now one thing I had mentioned last time we spoke, I don't know if you got to speak with your lender. I know we were talking about seeing if we could maybe have a conversation with your lender, and depending what the price and terms that the loan is at, maybe
the
we
loan is a hard money.
Right.
It's only interest. Yes,
It's an interest only loan.
Yes.
Okay.
I pay 700 something, 1,800
every month.
Yes.
Okay, so it's 1,800 a month, interest only, and then can I ask how much was the mortgage is for? How much they need in total to be paid back to them?
Is they hold me 20,000, and the loan is only 170,000.
The mortgage is
170,000. Yes.
Okay, got it. So the mortgage is 170. So that's what needs to get paid back to them, yes?
Yes.
So 170 is what needs to get paid back from them, and then how much money do you already have? Like if you were to include down payment and monthly payments, how much have you paid into the deal already?
Okay, I need to. Okay, one moment. My monthly payment is fine for me, because I know I'm going to lose money. But I need to reach my mom, give me the one money to investment. She don't want to give profit, but I need to return the money to her.
Okay.
And that is I don't worry if I lose, but I don't want my mom to lose money because
okay.
And that is the more important. That is the reason I need to sell in 200 more or less because I need to pay 38,000 to her.
Okay, so 38,000 needs to go to your mom, yes?
Yes.
Okay, got it.
That's the more important to me because it's, my mother have 75 years and she worked for 50 years in a bank. I don't want they lose money.
Right. No, absolutely. If we were able to figure out a way to where we could get your mom paid and you weren't responsible for the hard money, I mean, would you be open to an option like that?
Yes.
Do you think we could have a conversation with the hard money lender so here's my thoughts is see if the hard money lender would be willing to let us take it over, and then we take over the house and do the project, and then what we can do is we can figure out a way to pay your mom $38,000.
Okay.
Is that something you'd be open to?
Yes. I want to the more anchor is my mom, this is the more.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we definitely got to get mom paid. So now, do you think your hard money lender, do you have like a really good relationship with them?
Yes.
Do you think
I can call him and ask if we can do a meeting conversation with him? He's going to be open.
Okay, he'll be open to it. Let me call one or two people on my, because it won't just be me doing this project. Let me call and see, a few of my people. And then I can send you a text if I think that we'll be able to pull that off and we could make it work. Then what I'll have you do is talk with your hard money lender, and then we all can maybe hop on a call and talk it over with them. Okay. So let me reach out to some of my people, and hopefully I'm actually pretty busy today. I'll either be able to get back to you later this afternoon or evening, or tomorrow. Is that okay?
Yes, it's fine.
Okay. All right. So let me make a couple calls on my end, and let me see what we can do.
Okay, perfect.
All right. Thanks so much, Dan. I'll talk to you soon.
Me too. Bye.
Take care. Bye-bye. All right. So. Zainab. I hope I'm saying that right. She can do creative finance, right? Yes, she's open to it. So that is like what you guys heard. That's my creative finance pitch. I don't like going into like a huge long thing and explaining stuff. It's just like, yo, are you even open to this? And it's yes. Okay, great. Then before I even get it, I didn't even talk about terms or this or that. I'm like, dude, go see if you can even do it. I'm going to see if my person's even willing to do it. And then we can talk about details. So like there's something really important with sales. Like we're not talking about details until like we know. And that's another thing, right? Every time I call an agent, I don't know half of the details until I know we're at a point where it makes sense for me to like figure out what the details are. Right? Because you can waste so much time on like, well, what about payments and this and like, okay, so we can structure the offer this way and like, okay, well, the $38,000 to your mom, like, can we finance that to you or do it, pay a little bit up? There's so many different ways we can do it. First, let's just even see if it's doable, right? We've got the general price. Let's agree on price, and then let's agree on terms, right? But let's make sure like terms is even an option. Because if the hard money lender's like, nah, or if I talk to all my buyers and they're like, nah, well, then I can't do it. Or if the numbers just don't work. So now here's the other nice thing. So let's list it for $235. So the mortgage is $170. Now, here's the other important thing with the conversation. She doesn't care about losing the money. She's like, dude, but I need to pay my mom back. Like that is the black swan in this conversation. Her mom needs 40 grand, right? 38K. That is like the person that can convey to her, I can get your mom her 38 grand back. That's the person that gets this deal, right? So, Everything else, like that's one of those, when you're talking to sellers, like that's the type of black swan you're looking for. Because no matter what price, no matter what terms, whatever, like, because that's the thing is people talk, well, what if I were to, like, they'll see this price and like they won't ask more questions, and they'll just be like, well, what if I were to finance this to you over 30 years? Well, what if we did payments like this and a down payment like that? Right? But if you didn't know, yo, my mom needs 38 grand and there's a hard money loan in place, like these options aren't going to work, that conversation is just going to be for nothing, right? That offer is going to be for nothing. We only make the offer that's the right fit for them. So that's why I haven't made an offer to her yet. I'm just still throwing out options. So now we're going to explore, like, hey, is this an offer we can actually put together? I got to figure out which buyers I want to have this deal. Now, the tough thing is, like, dude, this is kind of far outside Orlando. I don't know if this is too far. The other things, I got to look at numbers, right? So now it's worth us comping a little bit more in detail to see, okay, where do people really need to be at? You know, because like I don't want to call up my buyer, be like, hey, are you interested in doing this creative finance thing? And he's like, okay, well, what's the numbers? I'm like, oh, well, there's actually no spread even with creative finance. You know, that wouldn't be a good fit. Now, guys, the other thing is we could probably negotiate terms with the hard money lender also. Everything's negotiable, guys. Everything. Dude, if that hard money lender does not want to take this property back, he does not this house. No way. He's in the lending game. Dude, he wants his money back. Is he going to be willing to like work with us and be flexible? I would bet. I would bet on that. And when we say flexible, what does that mean? Again, guys, everything's negotiable, right? Dude, the monthly payments could be negotiable. The interest only could be negotiable. The amount paid to him, the actual mortgage, could be negotiable. Now, it probably isn't. But bro, seriously, like it's all negotiable, man. It's all negotiable, guys. So don't and that's where like people get kind of these crazy deals. You're like, dude, how on earth did you get someone to say yes to that? You just gotta ask. Like so many people, they don't even ask the question because they wrote it off in their head as like, nah, there's no way that'll happen. There's no way that's possible. You'd be surprised. And like we just might not even be able to see it from the right angle. Like he might be able to renegotiate all, like he might be able to do like 150,000 like that we have to pay to him. Like principal only payments and all of it's paid at you know when we sell the deal on the back end, right? So there's no payments until the deal's sold. That, like, I'm not saying that's what would get set up, but like, is it possible for someone to say yes to it? Yeah, maybe. Now, why would anyone say yes to it? Dude, it all depends, right? We don't know what his situation is. Bro, maybe he's like, I mean, it could be a big hard money lender. It could be like a super small hard money lender. To him, this could be literally like peanuts, right? For him, it might just be like, dude, I just want to be done with this. You know, like I don't care if I lose $5,000, or like maybe it's like, yeah, I've kind of already made my money. I'm pretty secure, you know, as far as with the payments he's already received and whatnot. So for him, it could just be like, I just want to get this done. Like I just want to make sure I do not take this one back. Or maybe he'll be like, nah, dude, none of it's negotiable. But you don't know until you ask. So let's look at some of these. So ours is a 4.2, 1,700 square feet, 2-car garage. Ours does have a pool, if you guys remember. Now, the other good thing is we got some really good information. So one, you know, we got to find out exactly What oh, the other thing is, what's her actual cash number? It's not 235. It's 170 plus 38. So if we buy this for 208, is that doable? Maybe. We might be able to just do a cash deal at 208. If we covered all the closing costs and whatnot. We'll see. Ideally, the scenario I would love to set up, if the numbers are able to make sense, perfect case would be we take over the hard money loan. We like renegotiate those payments. We renegotiate the payments. The 38K to her mom, we finance that, you know, till basically so it's paid off at the end of the deal. Now that might be a non-negotiable. Part of me feels that that's a non-negotiable, but maybe like it could be like a down payment, you know, and then we can pay the rest off at the back end. You know, guys, again, there's so many different ways we could structure it. But ideally, we'd like to try to put everything till when the property's all fixed up and we sell it. We want to do as much of that as we can. Dude, didn't this one had a pool, didn't it? Am I going crazy? Where's our thing here? Where's the pool? I know this one had a pool. Am I losing my mind? What one am I thinking of that had a pool? It had a nasty pool. She even said the pool needed to be fixed. I don't think this has a pool. Bro, maybe I'm just losing it. Okay, maybe it doesn't have a pool. And I was just totally thinking of a different property. All right, so 4.2, 1,700 square feet, 2-car garage. Let's go to settings. We're going to look at all. All right, that's what I like. So, yeah, let's look at some of these investor deals. Doesn't mean they're actually investor properties, but so I'm not even gonna look at that. That's not a comp, but it did sell for 348. 3.2, 1,800 square feet. Looks kind of nice. For us, ARV, it's really got to be like, it's got to be over 300. I mean, like, for sure. I mean, honestly, minimum, it's got to hopefully be at like 350. You know, because again, we're going to use the rehab that the other guys were telling her. Now, they may have been a little high. Honestly, I don't think so. I think it probably actually is a 70-ish K rehab. Let's see. Okay. Not really our year built, but I like this. Bought it for 201. Sold it for 365. That's kind of what we need. All right, I like it. I like it. So we're going to call this guy for sure. We're going to try and look him up. Upland Mortgage Loan Trust. So this dude bought it. Yeah, so it's this guy. Maybe he did like a live-in flip. I mean, I'm gonna try and look this dude up. See if we can look him up. True People Search. Let's do, what do we think? Well, where would it, so it'd be Kissimmee. So let's do Kissimmee, Florida. See what pops up. Okay, I like that. Boom. Come on, big money. Be a good number. This was a while ago, though.
Please leave your message for 407.
Let's try again.
Hello.
Hey, Edward.
Yes.
Hey, Edward. This is Nathan. How you doing?
Pretty good. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I know this call's a little bit random. I was actually calling about a flip you did a little while ago, the one on Caddy Drive in Kissimmee.
Okay.
Yeah, I was taking a look at it. Well, first off, I mean, you guys did an amazing job with that. That turned out really nice. I was calling because I have a property I'm trying to help someone out with. That's right around the corner from this one, and I was looking to see if you were looking for any more flips.
Well, we just completed one on Bromwich, which I think it sold. I think we got a deposit on it today.
Oh, awesome.
212 Bromwich. Yeah, 212 Bromwich. What's the address of yours?
This one would be on Chip Court, 8 Chip Court. So it's kind of a unique situation. I'm looking at, like, I'm trying to help this person out. They bought this deal from a wholesaler, and they had a partner that was gonna finance the rehab and do that, but they like backed out last minute. So the person's stuck with like a hard money loan, borrowed some like private money from their mother, and like they're just trying to figure out the hard money loan and to just like get mom the money back and let someone take over the project. So this could be a situation to where I'm pretty sure we could take over the hard money loan and then trying to figure out how to get mom the money back. There might be a few options on that, but basically it would kind of be a creative deal. I don't know. Is that something that you think you'd be open to at all?
Anything where there's money to be made these days is we're open to.
Cool, man. I like it. I like it. Not everybody's so flexible, man. I never understand it. Some people are like, no, I only do it this one way.
No, we're pretty flexible.
Okay, cool.
But everything has to be. I mean, everything has to be right. The numbers have to be right.
Yeah. I guess, what do you see? I know that house that you flipped. I mean, I know that was last summer. You guys sold it for 365. Also, I'm not looking to get rich on this deal. I'm honestly like, if I can make any money, great. But ideally, I'd like to help this person out.
Okay. And how big is the house?
It's a 4.2, 1,700 square feet, 2-car garage.
4.2. Okay.
It's a good size rehab though. I know some people looked at it and they were thinking like a 70-ish K rehab. It might be a little on the high end, but
how's the roof? How old's the roof?
It needs a roof.
Yeah, that's 18 million right there.
AC probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, so V70. Well, show me the number. I got a couple things going on right this minute, but let me see if I can write this down. What was the address you said?
I can text it to you if that works easier. It's 8.
Yeah, that'd be way better.
Yeah. I'll shoot you a text. And yeah, take a look at it, and then yeah, we can always reconnect.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, thanks. My name's Nathan Valle.
Are you with the company?
No, I'm kind of my own guy. I just switched. I was doing a bunch in West Michigan a little while ago, and I just switched to Orlando. Man, I've been liking it here a lot better than West Michigan. So yeah, Orlando's kind of mostly my focus. A little bit into Kissimmee, but Orlando surrounding areas. I mostly wholesale stuff. But I get a lot of deals across my desk.
Well, put me on your text list and send them to me.
Yeah, I'll be honest, Everett. I do things a bit differently than most people. So I don't like blast out properties like lists of like 5,000-10,000 people. I only work with like a handful of really good guys. I just find a few really high quality buyers, and then I work pretty personally with you guys. So like if I see something where I'm like, oh yeah, it's a perfect fit for Ed, I'm gonna shoot you a text and be like, oh hey, I got a good one for you.
Awesome.
So I don't know if that's how you like doing business. I know some people, they don't prefer that.
Anyway, we get houses. We got to flip houses to make money, but they have to just be, everything has to be priced. The numbers have to work.
Right. No, 100%. And it's not my first rodeo, so it's like I'm not sending you stuff with like ridiculously inflated ARVs and like.
No, you can send me anything you want. We'll get back to you.
All right, cool. Well, I appreciate it. Well, when I do send you stuff, it will be good. It will be good.
Okay, I'll program your name into my phone.
Yeah. I'll shoot you a text right now. You'll kind of have my full name, and this is my personal cell phone. So anything I can do for you, any questions, call, text me anytime.
Awesome.
All right, thanks, Edward. Talk to you soon. Yep. Bye. Come on, guys. That's what I'm talking about. Money making Tuesday. All right. I like that. Dude's like, bro, if there's money to be made, he's like, I don't care. He's like, you put that thing whatever way you want, so long as you can show me, Ed, there's a paycheck for you at the end of this. He's like, I'm good with it. I like that. Guys, it's a lot easier to make money when you're flexible. When you're flexible like that, that's what's up. Also, for anybody that's like hesitant on like calling twice in a row, if you've been following this challenge, dude, almost I feel like 80% of the calls that do pick up, it's been on the second call. It's been like super rare that people pick up on the first one, but we get a ton of answers on the second call. So like, guys, there's power in the double call for sure. So I'm shooting him a text right now. Hey, Edward, this is Nate. Now, well, yeah, no, I'm not too worried about that. Hey, Edward, this is Nathan Valle. Now, am I kind of going out on a limb a little bit with this guy? Like I don't have it under contract. Could he snake the deal from me? Maybe. Sure. Like he could just be like, oh, I can do an offer at this, or he calls the agent, whatever. This one's a little bit different because there's a lot more like specific information. But yeah, sometimes like when I'm doing that first deal with a new buyer, for me to have the relationship that I want to have, sometimes I do have to take a little bit of a risk, right? So I do have to maybe risk losing this deal. But like if there's a deal I'm going to risk it on, it's going to be something like this or a property like this, right? On one that I'm like, dude, I don't even know if we'll be able to make this happen anyways, right? I'm not going to take that risk on the property where I'm like, dude, I think I have like an 80K spread here. I'm not taking a risk on that deal, right? But these ones, it's, I'm not too worried about it. In fact, I actually like it because you know, if this isn't somebody that I can trust, I don't want to do business with them. And then I get to learn sooner rather than later and, you know, cut them off my list. Nice chatting with you on the phone. Now the reality is we probably most definitely will not be getting rich on this deal. Maybe we could squeeze in like $5,000. Maybe 10. I don't know. Yeah, we can maybe squeeze in 10. It really depends on the terms. The address is 8 Chip Court. But I like this guy. He sounded chill, man. Dude, and guys, like, True People Search, free, right? Legit number, like, no money, people. We have spent $0 on skip tracing. 0. Now, what if I called and he still didn't pick up, right? So where was that comment? We're looking at this one. What if he didn't pick up? I would have called the agent on this. And I've had to do this for a few properties to where like I wasn't able to find a good number for the person. Now, most people, I'm surprised it's in his name. You know, the funny thing is if I was a flipper, I probably would do that just because like it makes him very easy to be found. And if I'm somebody that wants to do a lot of deals and get everybody sending me deals and like reaching out to me with calls like this, bro, like make yourself easy to be found, right? Honestly, I could probably take some lessons from what I'm saying. Like as far as me and like JVing with people, I should probably make myself a bit easier to get a hold of, like a bit more available or a bit easier to be found, you know? All right, so the address is 8 Chip Court, Kissimmee. Florida 34759. I'm gonna say we're gonna say how do we want to word it? Just be like rehab approximately 70K. Seller had quotes and rehab budget. Man, let me see. Do I have that paper with the notes? Hers was like, wasn't it like 45? Not that one. Not this one. I've got to do better with my notes, guys. I think I might have thrown it out, to be honest. Okay, no. Here it is. So he said 18 for a roof. She said she had a quote for 13 on a roof. I'm not going to say rehab approximately 70. I'm going to use her number. I'm going to say she had an estimate. Because if I say 70, he's going to anchor higher. Right? So I want to use a lower number to it's as much as I don't want things to always have to be a negotiation, you got to play the game. Because he's just he's doing his thing too. He's got to try to get the best deal possible. So I think, yeah, we had a rehab of like 60K for everything. So I'm going to say Seller had a rehab budget of, yeah, she said 45 for the inside, and then like a 13. So I'm gonna say, yeah, budget of 55 to 60K. $60K. There's money loan of 170K. All-in price right around, let's say, so we want to try to work in a 10K fee if possible. So 170 for hard money, 38 for, let's just say 40 to keep the number simple. 48, excuse me, for mom. And so that puts us at 210, slap another 10K on it. So I'd put us at 220. We're going to say 219 because that sounds nicer. So I'm going to say all-in price would be 219. No, I mean, not the rehab. Not including rehab, parentheses. I have to put that there so he's not like, dude, what do you mean all in for 220? He's like, you forgot the 70K rehab. So I'm gonna explain. All in price would be 219, not including rehab. So hard money loan would be able to take over. I'm gonna say working. I'm gonna say potentially, because if he says he could just do 219 cash, like we're gonna do 219 cash. Potentially, potentially able to take over hard money loan. And I also don't want to say like, oh, yo, you can definitely do this, right? Because we're still trying to figure that out because we don't know 100% yet if that's something we'll be able to do. I'm gonna say I'm in negotiations. Potentially able to take over hard money loan of 170K. I'm in negotiations with that. Yeah, and I'm just gonna say, so potentially able to take over hard money loan of 170K. All in price would be 219, not including rehab. Yeah, let's just send that. Let's see what he says. Okay. All right. Well, that's cool. I like that guy. I'm gonna add him as a buyer. That's for sure. So let's bring up our Podio. Cash buyer. We're going to do Edward. Oh my goodness, if it will load. There we go. Add a cash buyer. Abrahamson Jr. All right, let's put this dude's number up here. Now, I didn't really ask him about numbers, what margin he needs to make, any of that. Why? Because like I've got a deal that I'm calling him about. So my next conversation with him is like, that's what it's going to be about, right? Like, so either one of two things happens. Like either like, yeah, he's interested in this deal and we talk more and we work it out, right? My conversation is pretty much going to be focused on this deal. But at some point, if he's like, no, this one's not able to be a fit for me, or at some point during all those conversations, I'm going to be like, hey, where do you buy? What do you look for in a deal? What kind of metrics do you need? What kind of numbers do you need a deal to hit? All that stuff, right? And then I'm also, he's going to be a new buyer of mine. SMS, phone call. We'll say new buyer. We'll say average. Contacted Florida. Fix and flip for sure. Let's put the address of this one that he did. Told him on flip he did at. Now, why am I putting this in here? And why am I going to want to take a closer look at this a little bit later? Because, dude, it's one thing with like buyers can tell you their criteria, right? And the metrics, what numbers they buy at and how much they need to make and all that stuff. But you don't really know. Like the best way to know is when you look at deals that they're doing or deals that they've done. What do they buy it at? What do they sell it at? Right. And then, taking a look and try to get your best guess of ARV best guess of rehab. Because then that will really and this is perfect for us because I can use that in the conversation, like depending on what he tries to do. Right now, this is a 4-3. Now, did he make it a 4-3? Where would it show it? Would it be in before and after? Yeah, so he took it from a 2-bed, so he added a bathroom to it. So, and he bought this at 201. But I mean, it's not like this was just a paint and carpet. Like they did work on this house. Like, so that's why I actually really like this compared to ours. And he sold it for 3. Now, this was a while ago though. But yeah, this kind of really helps give me a good idea. Like if he tries to tell me it's like, yo, dude, I gotta be at like 140 or like, I gotta be at like 160, 170 on this one. I'd be like, bro, you bought this for 201. Now he might come back with a really good answer, right? He might be like, dude, that's because of this, 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 and this, and that, and like that house had these things, this one doesn't, and that rehab only consisted of blank. This one's got these big things going on with it, right? And like the reason why I do that is not getting back and forth with him, but because, and I would do it in a genuine way of like, hey man, help me understand, what am I missing? Because I'm looking at this house and it's a 4-2, just like that one, like the one I'm showing you, and you paid over 200 for it, and sold for 365. Why can't you do that same thing here? All right, and I'll learn a little bit about rehab, a little bit about his process. But cool, guys, that brings us to the end of today. I really hope I can help this person out in this deal. Man, that sucks getting stuck with the property. And especially like, dude, having to figure out how to get her mom the money back. So hopefully we'll be able to help this person out. That would be such a killer note to like end the challenge with, guy. Wouldn't that be so sick? Dude, if like we had one deal close this week and then we had a second deal close in the challenge, which was being able to help out like another investor, you know, that bought a deal from a wholesaler and things went sour. That would be awesome. So I don't know. Stay tuned, guys. We shall see. I'll hopefully have some updates for you tomorrow on, you know, this afternoon and some of the properties we called this morning, specifically this one. This is kind of be the big one that I'm working on right now, to see if we can try to piece this together. But other than that, guys, I hope you learned a bunch today. Hope to see you tomorrow. We will be back tomorrow. Tomorrow will be day 26. I will be here at 9 a.m. Eastern. Until then, guys, be good, have fun, go take some action, create those relationships, make those calls, and I'll see you guys soon. Take care, gang.